What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie to 988 coming at you live once again through the power of that internet. And you guys are listening to the Big Stack Podcast. You might be listening to us. Might be listening to us on iTunes or Spotify, or you might be watching us here on the YouTube channel. And if wherever you are watching this, do us a favor, rate us, like us, comment us, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the feed, do whatever it is you need to do. And don't forget, we do have a Patreon at patreon.com/thebigstackpodcast. Currently with 49 patrons supporting the podcast. We really appreciate you guys. I'm joined as always by the folks over there at twitch.tv/big_breakfast. That's my friend Ellis and Jacob. Ellis, how's your week, man?
My week is good. And also I want to say, like, don't, subscribe to us, follow us, all that stuff. Give us a hug. We would like a hug. Send us a hug.
Yeah.
That would be wonderful.
If anything, subscribe to PewDiePie.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Super Bowl is going on right now, Ellis. Why are you not watching that instead?
Because you told me if I didn't do this, you would kill my family.
This is correct. But besides that, you don't really like your family, do you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Jacob, how was your week, my friend?
Hey, my week was great. My family didn't die, so I'm here at the podcast.
Good man. Good man. I would hate to have to torture you to death. Did you play any video games, Jacob?
I played a lot of video games.
What'd you play?
I played some Rainbow Six Siege, and I watched some Wargroove, and I played a bunch of Magic the Gathering Arena.
So good.
Yeah, I got that new set out, so playing with some new cards.
I'm glad that Ellis's camera is reversed so nobody can see your evil message. It just looks like play to them.
Oh, man. I even wrote it backwards, so I thought it would work.
Nope.
It works in this camera.
Yep, doesn't here, dummy. It says play.
So it reverses it in Zoom, and then it reverses it again on Twitch. That's dumb. I wrote it backwards. I thought I was being clever.
Ellis, did you play any games this week, Ellis?
Yeah, I have been watching a bunch of Wargroove. That game looks incredible. I can't wait to talk about that one.
I don't know anything about Wargroove. What the hell?
We'll tell you all about Wargroove.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of, my girlfriend plays some Kingdom Hearts, and Jacob and I played through all of Leon's campaign and most of Claire's campaign for Resident Evil Redux to the Quickening.
Electric Boogaloo.
That one, yes.
Yeah, I love me some Resident Evil 2. I have tried to stream it. I got to like a sewer area. I don't know how far through the game that is. Like I'm in the sewer or whatever. And, that game is a very scary time. And I guess people do like to watch me be afraid. I think there's just a lot of haters who are hoping that I'll die of a heart attack playing that game. And here's the thing. I might, so we'll see. Because those games get me, man. The original Resident Evil, when I played as dogs, and the original Resident Evil on like PlayStation 1 terrified me then. So this remake version, you guys know I played through Resident Evil 7 on both VR and non-VR, and holy hell, that game was scary. This is scarier for a lot of ways. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. The VR version, I think, was scarier than anything, but...
If I'd been playing it in the dark alone, with headphones on, like you're supposed to experience it, I could get that. Jacob and I played it sitting next to each other in like a spookily lit room, and we kind of approached it the same way that we do most horror films, which is, they're more funny than they are scary most of the time.
Right.
And that's not to say it wasn't a good game. We really enjoyed it. We liked it a lot, but we were laughing at a lot of the stuff. Like, why did they construct the police station with doggy doors everywhere?
Well, they had a canine unit. My question is, why does it have a effing clock tower in it?
The clock tower I get. The clock tower I get.
I don't.
The police station used to be a museum, and that's their, like, checkbox excuse for
all museums have doggy doors in it.
My thing is, yeah, it used to be a museum, but why would a museum have moving statues? Why would any building have
weird
statues?
Medallion puzzles? What was up with that?
And so once again, this is one of the things I like to mock these boys for. You are upset about medallion puzzles, okay? Yeah. But the zombies, that's just normal to you.
No,
you don't have a problem with
zombie
dogs.
You have given me this world, right? And you've been like, look, here are the rules of the world, okay? It is basically like your existence. It's basically like Earth. It's like your universe. Everything else is the same. People have cars. They go to jobs. There are traffic signals. Gravity works. But there's a zombie outbreak. That's the difference, right? Everything else the same. That's the difference.
No,
That's
because also in this world, police stations have medallion puzzles and clock towers and stuff, okay? And there's a giant monster named Mr. X who looks like buff Inspector Gadget knocking down walls.
Like the Kool-Aid Man.
No, he never says any.
Like,
Kool-Aid says, he's buff Inspector Gadget with the
I like
hat.
that we all kind of individually came up with our own names.
Wait, did you leave his hat on?
No, I shot his hat off.
Oh, okay.
First thing I did. Yeah. I shot him like 20 times in the face because I didn't know what it was. I've never played the game before. I was like, oh my God, I have to kill this thing. No, you can't. Hey, so here's the thing, by the way. I actually stole that joke, and I want to give full credit for that joke. Buff Inspector Gadget, I actually stole that from a YouTube channel, which you should go subscribe to right now. It might be the best YouTube channel coming up. It's called PewDiePie? No. It's subscribe to PewDiePie. Hashtag subscribe to PewDiePie. But Girlfriend Reviews. Have either of you guys seen that channel?
No.
Oh my God, go watch it like immediately. Like unsubscribe to our channel and make room for their sub because it is so good. But it's this girl who's reviewing the video games her boyfriend plays. So like she did BioShock and she actually played through BioShock, but other games like Last of Us, she's like, so this isn't a review of Last of Us. This is a review of what it's like to live with somebody who's playing Last of Us. And it's really interesting because she's like the player too, and she like gets to watch the game. So she talks about what it's like to watch somebody else play this game and whether or not it can hold your interest. And like The Witcher 3, she said it was really hard to watch because he would go do these stupid side quests, and I wanted to hear the main story. But in Last of Us, it was almost all main story, so it was super fun to watch, right? And I don't know, it's just like a really interesting perspective. She'll talk about like how repetitive the noises are if you're in the other room. Yeah. And
that sounds really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really great. So go support Girlfriend Reviews. Tell them that we gave them a big shout out too on our podcast with like 8,000 listeners. They have like 8,000 listeners for their stream right now, but whatever, who cares? So what are we doing? Okay, so we got some gaming news today. I thought we would start with a weird question though, because I asked you guys on Twitter if you had any weird questions for us. So we had one. Jacob, what was the wording for it? I want to get it right.
The wording?
The wording for the question about video game world you could live in.
Yeah. Sorry.
I might look that up on Twitter real quick. What was the question they asked exactly?
If you woke up tomorrow in a video game, what game do you think you would have the best chance of survival in? So, obviously, there's a way to like game the system here and just pick like a very calm, relaxing kind of game with little to no danger. But I don't think that's the most interesting way to answer this.
I think so. Survival, right? You can't pick something like, so my first thought was Stardew Valley. But you can't pick Stardew Valley because in Stardew Valley, presumably, you play a human and humans die eventually, right? You can die in that game.
Yep.
Okay.
As far as I know, Kirby's immortal.
I was gonna say Kirby just because I like to eat, and there's so much food in that universe.
There's a lot of food in that universe, right? Now you do have to like fight for your right to party, but I don't think he dies.
No, I mean he does have lives though.
Like he has lives, he can be killed, but I don't think he ages.
There is no death in Playboy the Mansion.
But you're still a human, and humans age. I assume you're not like a
not according to those game rules. You can play that game for 1 million hours, and you never age. And if you have to die, don't you want to live Hugh Hefner's life first?
I don't think so.
Nah, probably not. I don't know. I guess he's really rich.
I definitely do, but
I like money.
Money sounds sweet, but I don't know. That sounds boring. Yeah, like I feel like you would lose its luster pretty quickly.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I was gonna say a game like maybe Halo, where you hold on, listen.
All right, no, I'm ready.
Listen to my reasoning.
Yeah.
Whenever you play Halo Online, if you die, you just respawn, right? So you're not like dying, clearly.
But you are dying, right?
No, you're not. No,
how do you know that's not like a different Master Chief that's coming in there?
How would it be a different Master Chief?
They got like 40 of those backups loaded up, on
there's like one Master Chief.
There's only one Master Chief. The Master Chief has never died.
But I've died as the Master Chief.
No.
Oh, you don't understand how video games work. Okay, so you don't understand timelines, okay? So if you so like if you die in a video game, that ends the timeline for the death, but then you rewind to the timeline where you did not die, which is the correct timeline. So there's only one timeline, the one where Master Chief lives, okay?
So you're saying every game is Prince of Persia?
Every game is actually Prince of Persia.
Oh.
Okay. We did it. We solved it.
We solved it.
You see,
I'll take my check, please.
Imagine the Halo universe is a giant Plinko board from or like
from Plinko.
Yeah, from Plinko.
Plinko.
From you're killing me.
From the game.
From
Bob
Price's
Burgers.
freaking right, Bob Barker's Burgers. Spade and neuter your pets. And so every time you hit a peg, that ends up you ending up in one of the dying holes, then you got to go back to the top of the board. But when you don't, when you hit the right pegs and you end up in the beat the game category. Now, Master Chief will die one day narratively, and that's something you have to consider. His death will be written.
People that are really into pegging, like, find the pachinko subreddits by mistake? Or like the Peggle subreddits? Do you think there's ever like a crossover of that Venn diagram?
Right. You think maybe they just they like both things because they just live that lifestyle?
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Aesthetically, they like Peggle.
They just like pegs.
Yeah.
They have like clothes pegs. They hand dry all their laundry.
It's time for another Peggle game, EA. I know you haven't figured out a way to sell me $20 skins in it, so that's why I don't have it. But can we just get another fucking good Peggle game? Is that a thing we can do?
The only Peggle game that I played was an add-on in World of Warcraft. I never actually played its own separate Peggle game. I just had an add-on and it would just pop up, and I would just play it while I was flying somewhere or waiting for everybody to get back to a raid after we wiped.
If you do sign up for EA's premium service or whatever that's called, like the EA Access, EA Origin, whatever, I do have EA Origin where I pay the $5 a month so that I can get access to all of their 10-hour demos, so I don't have to buy their games because they don't send me codes because they know I don't like their monetization. So, and they're not just going to complain about them, so they're not going to give me free shit to complain about their stuff, right? You know, though they did give me Battlefield 5 codes. I'm not going to argue with that. That was actually really nice of them. So it wasn't like, you know, somebody high up at EA. It was somebody who was a fan of mine. But anyway, long story short, I do pay for that $5 a month access, so I get to play 10 hours of most of the games, which is enough for their live services games for me to know whether or not I like it. And it's probably a waste of money because that's how much a year? It's a lot. It's like $60 a year, isn't it? Yeah, so it's like a video game a year.
Like the price of a game.
But I get to play like 10 games, so it's not the worst. Now, the premium $15 a service model, they changed it because EA Access originally was pretty much all those games for free and all the demos for free and the 10-hour demos for free. And now I don't even know what the premium even gives you. I don't know why they changed it to a $15 a month upgrade because that's more than I'm paying for any other live service. So it's insane.
I'll bet it gives you like an avatar skin.
Yeah, I like the
cool hat.
I liked the $5 business model. I don't like the $15 business model. I think that's insane. I think you do definitely get Anthem, and you do get to play Anthem, I guess, earlier than other people.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I know you've got something prepared, don't you?
Dude, that chart, man, I'm mad about that fucking chart. That talk about some horse shit from a company trying to just trick people into buying their game by saying, hey, like, listen, give us more money. Otherwise, you're going to fall behind. Look at this chart. And like, you're on this line right now. And look how many X's are in that line. Look how much of the time you don't get to play the video game. You should probably give us more money for the same fucking video game so you can play it 4 days early.
7
week early.
7 days
time.
early. 7 days
Right.
early. And that's
you're not getting to play it early. You're not having to play it late. That's what it actually is.
And that's the thing that really bothers me. A lot of people who are defending this practice say, Boogie, don't you understand? This is a staggered release, okay? The official launch date is the 22nd. This is early access, okay? But the problem is with these online service games, the early access launch date is the day that everybody starts to get to play. So when you join the game on time, There's thousands, millions of people who've already leveled up to max level, who are already doing high-end content, who've already experienced it for the first time. And most people, if not all people, want to be part of that experience. I want to be the first person to take down the big mob. I want to be the first person to go on that raid. I want to be the first person to get that achievement. I want to be able to explore it. I don't want spoilers. I don't want to hear what happens in the story. I don't want to hear what that boss fight is like. I don't want to spend a week waiting to do that. You're not getting early. Well, then pay for early access, Boogie. No, that should be the standard edition. Nobody should have to spend extra money or sign up for an extra service to get to play the game the day that everybody else gets to play the game. That's it.
Or alternatively, prove to me that your game is worth $100. Did you make $100 game? Is there so much content in your game that I need to give you $100 for it instead of the industry standard of $60? Fine, prove it to me, and I will pay $100 for a game. That's fine, but you need to prove it to me. You're relying on tricks to get extra money out of me. That's all you're doing. You're relying on the weakness of people to say, well, I don't want my friends to be higher level than me. I want to experience the game with my friends. So I guess I need to pay them extra money for exactly the same product.
But we're also saying, I don't want spoilers. And that's one of the biggest things here. Because this game is not exclusively about story. It's mostly about the live service and the loot grind. But it does have a story. It is a Bioware developed game, even though it doesn't feel like Dragon Age or something like that. It is going to have story elements that I don't want spoiled. So yes, I have to play it the day it comes out. Or I guess I have to play it early because otherwise there's 1,000 YouTube videos in my feed talking about this raid, talking about this story plots, talking about this item, talking about this boss.
You could just not get on the internet, Boogie. I mean, you don't have phones, do you?
It's so frustrating. Now, I will give credit where credit is due. That chart was nowhere near as complicated as the one I'm going to link to you guys in Facebook right now. The Watch Dogs release chart was an abomination.
What the fuck is this?
There were
This is not a chart. This is a spreadsheet.
It is a literal spreadsheet in order to understand, okay? Because there was, for Watch Dogs, a standard edition, a deluxe edition, a gold edition, the San Francisco edition, the Wrench Junior Robot edition, and the Return of Dead Set collector's case, okay? And so, these are the options that you may or may not have gotten in that. The game, deluxe pack, season pass, lithographies, map of San Francisco, Dead Sec themed laptop stickers, Marcus figure, Marcus scarf and cap replica, exclusive 64-page art book, Dead Set art, Marcus figurine, Wrench Junior Robot. Okay, it is, and then there was, I believe, if I remember correctly, exclusive DLC determining whether or not you bought it on digital download or like paper download, and then like the PlayStation 4 got early access to the different stuff, and it was a much bigger clusterfuck for sure. That doesn't change the fact that what EA here is doing is a staggered release, and it cost more to get in earlier. And that's silly. And then another thing a lot of people don't realize when we talk about this, apologize, another thing they don't realize is the reviews will probably, possibly, potentially could be embargoed until the, quote, release date, end quote. So the EA is asking you to pay to get access a full week before their potential embargo might be up. So you can't possibly see the reviews before purchasing the game. And that is also another just shady business practice. And a lot of you guys get mad when I complain about these shady business practices. Oh, Boogie, you're just doing outrage culture. You're just doing outrage gaming stuff. What I'm doing here is I've been playing video games for a really long time. This is a YouTube video coming up later in the week. I've been playing video games since I used to have to go to an arcade and pluck quarters into Pac-Man to play it. The thing was, I would take $3 to an arcade and play for 2 or 3 hours, okay? We're in an age where you pay for a $20 skin. We're in an age where $20 when I was a kid would have bought me 2 days worth of enjoyment in most arcades.
So I wanted to talk about that as well. So that screenshot that everybody's referencing that has the prices for the store isn't a finalized thing. Not that I'm trying to defend it, because the reason that it's not a finalized thing is they want to hide the prices for as long as possible and trick a bunch of people into buying their game before it comes out. And then they see the store and realize, oh, all of this shit cost a third of the price of the game for a single skin.
Yep.
So they're trying to hide that information. That's the reason they're doing it this way.
Right. And so now, I've seen one YouTuber theorize that screenshot is from a video that was designed to show EA or show stockholders, and that's a theory, I don't know where that screenshot is from, and that maybe they had put inflated numbers there to excite stockholders or EA, like, this is what our store could potentially look like at these potential prices. And like, obviously EA would be like, oh, $20 skins, that's great. It doesn't change the fact that EA might very well like that and tell them to do that. If it's just a placeholder number, then you could put $1. You could put 50 cents. You could put a nickel. You could put whatever you wanted there. You went with a very large number. Why do you think they went with a very large number, Jacob?
Well, I mean, the theory that I've heard about that is that somebody, whenever they went to do the game capture play day or whatever, a content creator, they had that screenshot or a screen grab of that store, and they weren't supposed to release it. It was under embargo. They specifically told everyone who got all of this footage, here's the stuff that you're allowed to release, and that wasn't on the list, and somebody released it anyways. I don't know if that's true. I have no idea. But what I want to talk about here is that people are complaining about like the price of a skin costing 1/3 of the game or whatever. It doesn't matter how much it costs, right? The game is a $60 game. The content, the story content going forward, according to EA, is free. The way they monetize this game is with these microtransactions. Micro is a strong word, but
it's a macro transaction.
It's a macro transaction at that point. So here's the thing. If you buy the game and the game is good and you like it and you've paid $60 for it, but everything in the store is way too much money, you don't buy it. You simply don't buy it. If their plan to monetize this game is with these microtransactions and nobody buys them because they're way too expensive, then they will drop the price because nobody's going to buy it.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing. And so I don't know.
I understand the outrage. I understand why everybody would look at that and go, that one skin costs 1/3 of the price of your game. That's ridiculous. Don't buy it.
When you look at the statistics, and I've sat through a few seminars now at this point, and a lot of YouTube videos repeating these seminars. When you sat through these seminars, you know, allow the whales to fund your game. The statistic of 95%, 98%, 99% of your players do not purchase these microtransactions in these mobile games, in these other games. And when you look at a game like Fortnite, I think that probably breaks the mold. But the burden does fall on a small percentage of your players. And that small percentage of your players tend to be people who have addiction issues. They tend to be people who have collecting issues, the issues with spending money to buy every amiibo, like me. Or people who have gambling issues where they love to spin that wheel in that mobile game, or they love to open that loot crate. And there are case studies that you'll see on Reddit, people who've opened up and talked about their history where they spent $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 playing the same video game. Then you got a lot of kids who will borrow mom's credit card that don't even really have an understanding of what $20 is worth. And they just want the cool skin, or they want to look cool. They'll do that in Fortnite a lot. And again, I'm a little more lenient towards Fortnite because Fortnite is free to play. Angry Joe said something really interesting about Anthem. He gave advice to EA that was really smart. He's like, you don't want to launch these skins here at the beginning, because no one's going to buy those skins at the beginning. Only some really crazy, stupid people maybe are going to buy a $20 skin day one. What you want to offer early on is the cheap stuff, the easy skins, the simple skins, the dollar stuff, the $2 stuff, because people are just now getting into the game, and occasionally they'll pull the trigger with that. What you want to do is you want to wait until the largest part of your audience has moved on. YouTubers have moved on. I mean, they've gone on to another game. They've gone on to the next thing. And the people who really, really love your game, who really love Anthem, that'll be playing it a month from now, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, 2 months from now, that's when you introduce the $10 skin. That looks really cool. That has special effects. That has some neat stuff. And,
so I can understand
right?
that.
And because that person is entrenched, he's getting value. He's put 1,000 hours into your game. He doesn't mind spending $10 more. And then 6 months down the road, that's when you introduce the epic skin, the $20 skin, the crazy thing. That guy's gotten 5,000, 10,000 hours out of your product. He doesn't mind spending money.
I understand that argument. I think that is a good argument, and I understand where Angry Joe is coming from. Here's why I think that it has a flawed premise. It implies that EA thinks people will play their game for 6 months. And whether the game is good or not, I'm not trying to, throw shade at Anthem. Whether the game is fantastic or not, I don't think EA, the people that make those decisions, they don't know or care whether that game is going to retain people for 6 months, because they have realized that they don't actually have to make good games. Right. They don't have to retain people to follow that business model that would make people a lot happier and maybe even make them more money in the long run, because they can make a shitload of money doing it in this horrible microtransaction-y way immediately, right? Because now they don't ever have to spec on whether a game is good or not. They don't have to have people in charge of determining if their game is fun, if it's playable, if people will like it. They just have to have people who are in charge of marketing, which is something that companies have been doing for a lot longer and are way, way better at. It's a proven model.
What's interesting about it is, I've experienced this directly with a developer for EA who worked on Battlefront 2, and we've talked at great length. And in those conversations, he has basically said that what it was like to work on Battlefront 2 was a constant give and take with EA. EA putting as much pressure on them to A, get the game done quickly, B, to get it done on time, C, for it to look amazing, D, for it to play well, and E, for it to be monetized in a way that would aggressively get people to purchase, raising the percentage of people that would pay and the amount that each person that would pay, how much they would spend. And so, again, you try to come up with things like collector's editions. No, what's really popular for Overwatch is loot boxes. You know what else Overwatch does? Overwatch also does loot boxes, and then all the DLC is free. We're going to give them free DLC as long as we're making money, and we'll give them loot boxes, and they'll spend a lot of people love loot boxes, right? Well, we don't want to do loot boxes. We want to do, well, it doesn't matter what you want. Doesn't matter what you want. We're EA. We're the publisher. We're the ones pulling the strings. We're the ones funding the game. You got to do what we want you to do. All right, well, let's see if there's a compromise. And I guarantee that the people at Bioware, if they could speak, if someone had the gall to speak with me the way somebody at Star Wars Battlefront 2 did, they would explain that they are in the exact same situation. We want this game to be good. We put our heart and soul into this game. We are so excited to create a game that has some inclusivity in it, because that's something I believe in. And the gameplay is fun, and the world is fun. You feel like Iron Man when you're flying around, and we're working hard on the servers, and we're working hard on the content and the DLC. But EA has forced us to take an entire team to dedicate itself to creating DLC that we can sell for as much as possible in microtransaction store. And at least we compromise. We managed to make it cosmetic, and at least we compromised. We tried to bring the price down, and at least we compromised, but there's only so much we can do. And it's interesting because I spoke very briefly with Ed Boon about Mortal Kombat 11 and the microtransactions, and I went in with the knowledge, with the feeling that obviously Ed knows he has to compromise with Warner Brothers. And so it never really came up, and we never really talked about it, but I did slide into his DMs, and I told him, like, I know you're doing a pre-order character, and you got a lot of slack last time for doing a pre-order character. Look at how Nintendo did Piranha Plant. Not a pre-order character, but a early adopter bonus. See how much better that plays? You see the PR difference. It achieves the same thing, but it's a PR difference. And Ed really listened to that, and he really thought it through. I don't know if that could ever happen, because I don't know if Ed gets to make the final decision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
one of the problems in those situations is BioWare wants to make the best game they possibly can, but EA wants to make the maximum amount of money that they possibly can, and EA's always going to win.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that if this game is not absurdly successful, billions with a B, billions of dollars of revenue, I think this would be the end of BioWare as we know it. And that would be a real shame, because they've made some really amazing stuff.
I don't know if this is the stuff that they're forced to create now, then maybe it's good if that's the end of BioWare as we now know it. I want a return of BioWare from a while ago, not as we know it now.
And I want to return to Bethesda, and I want to return to whatever. The worst part about it is it's interesting because there's so many people who try to get the live services thing right. And there are ways to do it. Like, Jacob, you're playing Rainbow Six Siege earlier this week.
Yeah, I play it every week.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there are situations where they get it right.
Yeah, that game I pay $30 a year. and I get every character that comes out, and then even if I didn't pay that $30, I would get every map that comes out. They only gate characters.
Right.
And there's already a lot of characters in that game. So even if I didn't get a character, it wouldn't be the end of the world.
I mean, I probably
$30 a year for a game that you play as much as that game. That sounds totally reasonable to me.
Yep. I personally, since Magic the Gathering Arena is a entirely free-to-play game, and the vast majority of my friends play it entirely free, I have made myself a deal. I will spend money every new expansion. I'll buy a gem pack, maybe the $100 gem pack, depending on how much I like that set, and I will use that gem pack to draft. And I spent $200 now on Magic the Gathering Arena, which is a ridiculous amount of money. But considering I play it for like an hour or two every single day since it was in alpha, I feel like I'm supporting the game so that other people can play it for free. And I feel comfortable and happy doing it. It's free download. And I have trouble spending that kind of money in that game because I use the money to draft and play sealed. And the money goes such a long, long way because I'm relatively good at the game. And so I'm willing to pay for Magic the Gathering Arena. What I'm not willing to do is spend $60 on a game or buy the premium edition for $90 so that I can log in and have a store tell me that there are epic skins available today if I would like to spend X amount of dollars, 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever they turn out to be. That's gross. It's just gross. That's just gross.
It is gross.
And it's a shame because Anthem, I did not play the Anthem beta this weekend. I might still yet because it goes on till tomorrow. But I've watched people play it over the weekend, and it looks so much more stable and so much better, and I loved what I did play, and so I'm excited to play more, and I want to try more of the javelins, and I want to try the game, and I might even purchase it. I probably will purchase it to stream it, and if it turns out to be gross, I'm going to complain dramatically about it. You know, because it is a fun game. It is a fun game. Just please don't be gross about this stuff, you know?
Yeah, it takes away from it, right? When you play a game like Breath of the Wild, it feels like the people that made it had a vision for it. They had a passion for making it. They had an idea of what they wanted to create. And when you play games like Anthem or any of these games that get so, I don't know, twisted by their monetization models, it feels like any vision that maybe was once there is completely lost. It's impossible to see it because it's all wrapped up in this online controversy. It's wrapped up in $20 for a skin. It's wrapped up in this absurd chart. Why do I need to look at a chart for when I get to play a game?
Right. And so
it's unacceptable.
And so a lot of Anthem fans this week have complained, and they said, Boogie, you're damaging this game. No, it ain't me. It ain't me. It's EA. And I am going to talk about this, and I'll tell you why. And this is the video that I'm going to make later in the week. Because I know for a fact EA still watches my videos. I know because I get DMs. I know because I get emails. I get press releases sent to me because I talk about this stuff, okay? And since they are listening, I talk. Because if you are an Anthem fan right now and you talk, they may not hear you because you don't have the same voice that some of us YouTubers do. I complain about Anthem in these videos not to damage the game, but to fix it, to help it, to make sure that the folks at Bioware know how we feel about this and know, so that hopefully, and here's the thing, they respond too. That's the best part about it. They respond on Reddit. They respond to us directly. It's such an important part of the job. And so, yeah, I do like the fact that people watch the videos. And yes, I do make money from those videos. But if EA doesn't put out a gross screen cap that makes it look like they're going to have an in-game store with $8 emotes in it, then I'm not going to have anything to complain about. So I'm just going to blow up in the game and say how much I love it instead. So just don't do gross stuff. And if you do watch my videos where I complain about these microtransactions, I do still talk about the good of the game. I know not every YouTuber does, but I do. I always talked about the beta, and I talked about how much fun and how cool it was to play. I feel like Iron Man, and I talk about that stuff because it's important to talk about that stuff. I want you to have a balanced view of the game, but you're never going to convince me that I shouldn't complain about this stuff if I don't like this stuff, and the Reddit army doesn't like it, and Twitter doesn't like it, and my audience doesn't like it, and my fans don't like it, and I agree with them. Of course we're going to talk about it. Of course we're going to talk about it.
I think the word complain has a very negative connotation. It's closer to a critique. I know that your tone is you have a character about the way that you critique these things, but that's what it is. You're critiquing a situation, a choice that people made about a game that is critiquable. It is not a good thing, and people on the whole seem to agree. Now, a lot of this is based on actual speculation of a screenshot that probably doesn't exist anymore, but we don't know. That's one of the other problems is people feel invested in the game because they have pre-ordered it and they want it to be good, and they've already invested and spent their money on the game, and it's kind of sight unseen. Not at this point. Now people have like done the demo versions and they have like a good idea, but at the time, like pre-ordering games is a dangerous game. It just tells companies like EA. I mean, it's what you were talking about earlier, Ellis, where they have figured out that their business model is a lot more profitable in the short term by not determining whether the game is good or playable. They just market the hell out of it and then trick people into pre-ordering it, and then whether it's good or not, it kind of just comes out and then people complain about it and then they move on.
Right. But so I was watching Clean Price Gaming yesterday on YouTube, and he was talking about Far Cry New Dawn and how they're trying to kind of turn Far Cry into a live service as opposed to a
Really?
Well, kind of. It's the new Far Cry is very much an RPG rather than just a fun shooter. It's interesting. They've made some pretty big changes according to his video. Haven't played it myself. Look forward to playing it myself. But they're talking about how they're trying to get some of that live service money, and how, you know, Fallout can compete because in the first 5 days it'll earn as much as Destiny did in the first 5 days, except Destiny continued to go on to make a buttload of money every month where Far Cry doesn't. And so if you get people to play Far Cry for a longer period of time, to play the arcade mode, the multiplayer mode, you slow roll the expansions, and you give them a lot of more content, you continue to get them to come back to the game, they become more entrenched, and they're more likely to buy skins and stuff for their characters, especially in a multiplayer format, and how they're just trying to get a little bit of that money. And here's the thing, you are right to some extent that front load is very important, but for a live service game like Anthem, they are definitely looking to hold on to as much as they can. And I've heard the statistic of 30%, they will retain from the initial sales, they like to target 20 to 30% of the initial buy-in. And if they can get those people to continue to play, and then 5% of those people buy microtransactions moving forward, now we're talking real money, millions and millions and millions of dollars every month, and this will keep Bioware open, and it'll keep a few teams open, and it'll keep the stockholders happy. So that is always the goal with these games. They do want that front-load money, and as much of it as they can. But then the addictive quality settles in, and they want those people to spend so much time playing the game that they become entrenched, and when they are entrenched players like we are entrenched with Magic, they can count on our sales.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about, there's two other things I wanted to bring up. Number one, did you see Ubisoft's regrettably, but still almost funny to me, email talking about the Division 2.
I get to be explained to. I can't wait.
This is great.
It's bad.
They had an email that went out saying, if you want to come play the Division 2's beta and see what a real government shutdown looks like, you can play it on this beta.
Oh, boy.
That's a spicy meme, boys. Oh, my God. Now, Ubisoft is also a company that says, we don't like to get political. We went into America for Far Cry 4, and we still didn't get political in that game. And this is the company that's like, well, you want to see what a real shutdown looks like, boys. Wow. Yeah.
My favorite screenshot is somebody's inbox with that email, and then immediately after a second one with the title of we're apologize for the regrettable email we previously sent.
Yeah. I mean, I personally thought it was pretty funny. That's how you want to sell your game. Sell your game like that. I don't have a problem with it.
Be sassy, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just saying, wow, you got some balls on you.
Extremely fucked up.
Woo! I like it, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm fine. If that's how you want to sell your game that way. I don't have a problem with it. Free speech, man. I don't think it's going to sell games the way you think it's going to sell games, though. That's what I'm saying. Then let's talk about freedom of speech one more time. Let's talk about this Metro Exodus interview that took place. So for those of you who don't know what's happened, there's the Epic Store. The folks who make Fortnite have an Epic launcher, and that launcher has now become a store. So not only can you buy Fortnite-related stuff, but you now can buy other games. And I have actually lauded quite a bit of the things they are doing there. They're giving a much better split financially to developers, 18% versus 30% over there at Steam. That's pretty cool. And then on top of that, they're giving away free... Yeah, right, like their percentage take, right. And then they're also giving away a couple free video games a month, and that's pretty cool too. You could get Subnautica for free. That's a fun game, and that's a big game, and that's a free game. That's neat. So I like some of the things that Epic is doing, and some of it's worth downloading the Epic Launcher. One of the things they're doing that I dislike is they are bribing developers to create timed exclusivity. And I don't mind exclusives in some way. Let's say God of War, which is developed by Santa Monica Studios. The folks over at Sony paid to fund God of War to create something new, right? We want you to take the God of War franchise, and we want you to build a new game out of it, and we will pay for that game, and then we'll both reap the benefits. When you use your platform to create something new, and you want to keep it for yourself, I understand. But when Xbox bought Tomb Raider timed exclusivity from Square Enix, and Square Enix was going to release it on the other platform, that's a little more shady. I don't like that. So in this case, Metro Exodus was for sale on Steam for a while. You could pre-order the game on Steam for a while, and for those of you who are not familiar with the Metro series, it is a PC darling because it often is optimized for PC and looks incredible on PC. You can play it on console, boy, but it does not look near as good as it does on a high-end PC. So PC gamers love the Metro series because they are gorgeous and they're fun. So a lot of players who've been using Steam for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years were excited to purchase it on Steam where their entire gaming library is. And in the last minute, Epic bribed the developers of Metro Exodus to get a timed exclusivity on their store. Now, if you pre-ordered it on Steam, they will still allow you to play it on Steam. That's fine. But if you hadn't pre-ordered it from that surprise announcement at that point, 2 weeks before the launch of the game, you could no longer buy it on Steam. And you can't wait for the reviews and buy it on Steam. You have to buy it on the Epic Store. Now, it will come out on Steam a year later, but most people aren't going to wait. And most people
Why are you fucking bother at that point?
So a lot of Steam players are furious. A lot of players who don't want to download a separate launcher are furious. And they're very much not happy about this. Now, the good news is if you do buy it from Epic now, which is the only way to play it if you want to buy it on PC, it's $10 cheaper. They pass the savings on to the rest of us, so it's $50 to get it there. If you buy it on console, you're going to spend $60. So that's a pretty good deal, I guess, saving $10. If that's where they stopped and you could still buy it on Steam, I would have been happy. I would have been supporting them. I would have applauded that. That would have been amazing. But it's now a timed exclusive. Now, the reason we're bringing this back up, because this is old news, is because a developer of the game, during an interview, threatened gamers, saying that if they boycotted the Epic release of Metro Exodus, then if there is another Metro game, we won't develop it for PC.
Yeah, that's a weird fucking hill to try and die on, my dude. I don't understand. If you don't buy our game, we won't let you buy our game.
Yeah.
That's the, you can't fire me, I quit argument.
Right. Now, number one, if you go read this review, number one, I've only ever seen it translated from Russian, so it probably loses something in the translation. Secondly, along with his translation, it is clear he's just a very frustrated person who does not understand why players are upset. He goes on to say, look, if they're not willing to take a few seconds out of their day to download the launcher, then they don't care about the Metro series. They probably weren't going to be customers anyway. They probably don't care about video games. They probably don't care about our games. They're not our customers. Screw them. Okay? The real people will go wherever we put our game. The real people won't mind taking 2 minutes to download a launcher. That seemed to be his general premise.
I don't know. The real people have got to be feeling kind of insulted now, though, right?
Right.
Maybe they're not going to be real for much longer?
Right, and that's really kind of stupid. So if we throw away this potential threat, it just shows that this particular interviewer was fairly out of touch. Well, the good news is, and this is why I wanted to talk about it today, we've now got an apology, which is great. I think that's fine. Today, Metro Publishers, Deep Silver, owned by Koch Media, or Koch Media, Coach, C-O-K-O-C-H, I don't know, posted a message on the game's social media accounts which said the individual developers' views do not reflect Deep Silver or 4A games, and that a PC version will always be at the heart of the plans for future Metro games. He says the views reflect the hurt and disappointment of a passionate individual who has seen what was previously nothing but positive goodwill towards his work turn to controversy due to a business decision he had no control of. We respectfully ask that any and all valid feedback over this decision is directed to Koch Media, Deep Silver, and not the developers at 4A Games. He said it reiterated that the decision to move Metro Exodus from Steam to the Epic Store was made by Koch Media, Deep Silver alone, and that you shouldn't take it out on the developers. And I'm always for that. Don't ever take it out on the developers. Why would you ever take it out on the developers? They don't make the business decisions. They develop the game. And they say our decision to partner with Epic Games was based on the goal of investing in the future of the series and our developmental partners at 4A Games. We have every intention of continuing this franchise, and a PC version will always be at the heart of our plans. So discounting, especially with this apology, you can easily discount any threat. But I think it's so frustrating that they don't understand that I already have a Ubisoft launcher and Steam and Origin and the one for The Witcher 3 for those guys. Yeah,
Galaxy.
All right, I've already got like 4 or 5 on my hard drive. I don't want another. I don't want to install anything else that I don't want to install. Now, I do actually have Epic downloaded because I played Fortnite and I downloaded some of the free games already, so I'm not the person. But there are plenty of people who just want one program, one storefront. And players deserve to choose where they purchase their products. They deserve the right to choose who they fund and who they don't, whether it's Epic or Valve or PlayStation or Xbox. We deserve that right. And if you do want to take away that right because it's financially fine for you, please allow us to have our frustration.
I kind of disagree with that. I mean, like, if you want the Walmart brand of a particular item, they make like a really good frozen pizza that you like, but you don't like shopping at Walmart, then you don't get the Walmart pizza that you want. You got to make sacrifices, right?
Well,
if you
okay.
Play Metro.
Well, that's a bad analogy. It's like if Walmart decided they're no longer carrying Coca-Cola because they have a political difference with Coca-Cola, I'd be pretty upset with Walmart.
Really?
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, man, I like Coca-Cola, I like Walmart, I like Coke products, so I want to buy Mountain Dew, I want to be able to buy it at Walmart where I buy all my groceries. I guess I'll go to the place that still sells Coke instead.
So I think that I understand where you're both coming from. We're kind of getting into like monopoly territory here. So you're saying that gamers should have a choice, right, Boogie? That they should be able to choose where they want to buy their products.
Well, I mean,
right?
Not necessarily every time. What I'm saying is that if I don't have that choice, you should allow me to be frustrated by it.
I completely agree with that.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm not trying to take that away. Yeah. And I apologize if you got that from what I was saying, because that's not what I meant.
Yeah, well, that's all I'm ever saying. At the end of the day, I'm saying, like, I should be allowed to be frustrated that I have to make a second trip to buy the product I want, or I have to launch a second installer. It inconveniences me, it frustrates me, it irritates me, it makes my life more complicated, and I'm going to voice my frustration. And the most common way for a consumer to voice their frustration is by not purchasing.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Saying, well, then, you know what? I'll go to a different store, folks, or I'll go to the place that has the thing I want, or I won't buy the thing at all. I just give up. I don't care. I don't care. I don't need this. I don't need this extra frustration in my life. I'll drink Pepsi.
I think, like, so here's the thing, right? Like,
crazy talk.
That's just crazy talk. Don't.
Well, it is crazy. Yeah, Pepsi's disgusting, but still.
So, I'm all for competition, right? That's what we should have. Steam and Epic should fight each other so that Steam is not the only name in the market, and developers can now get a better deal. That's all great. I want them to fight each other on a different access of, if you want to play this game, you have to buy it here. If you want to play this game, you have to buy it here, right?
Yep.
I want to be able to buy it in both places, but I want you to compete for my money. That's what I want. I want Steam to offer me, like cool extra trading cards or whatever people like on Steam, and Epic can give me a $10 discount, and Steam can be like, we'll mail you a sweet hat, and Epic will be like, we'll send you a whole horse if you buy the game here. We don't know what you're going to do.
But you got to eat it
Horses
all in
are
one
very
sitting.
expensive. That's what I want, right? I want them to compete. I want to have the choice. They're not competing in the same way for my dollars if it's like, well, I want to play Horizon Zero Dawn, I guess I will have to buy a PlayStation now. As opposed to like, that's the competition that is better for the consumer, right? Because now, both if that game was also on Xbox and also on Switch, I understand that that's not possible. But now those platforms actually have to compete for my dollar, and they have to offer me something that the other platforms aren't. And that's good for us as consumers.
Right.
It is less good for us when they are competing in ways that's like, well, I just have to download the Epic Store to buy this now. I don't have a choice. If I want to play the game, that's what I have to do. So now my choice is not who do I want to give my money to? It's do I want to play this game or not? And that's a shitty choice to force on me as a consumer. Which was
why I was all about the Epic Store in my first video, because I'm like, man, competition, and they're going to get Steam back on their feet, and Steam's going to start giving developers a better cut, and the prices are going to get cheaper. We're going to start getting more free games. We're going to get competition. The same way when we came into this new console generation, and Xbox was resting on its laurel, trying to ship a Kinect nobody wanted, and trying to get rid of physical media and all this other stuff. We had the option, and I was glad we had the option, so PlayStation won that generation. And I'm glad, because it made a much better Xbox, and Xbox is awesome now. I think it's a great decision to buy an Xbox One X right now, and I highly recommend it, just not at the beginning of this generation. And I hope that Xbox can really compete this next generation, because PlayStation is starting to rest on their laurels. And here's the thing, if there was only one of those two, then we would be dealing with whatever nightmare future they created for us, Sony and their censorship in the West right now, or Sony and their refusal to work with a lot of game YouTubers, or Xbox and their decision to try to get rid of physical media and ship a Kinect with every unit. Everybody have to have a stupid Kinect built into a system they didn't want to use, and so that's why I was so excited to see Steam get woken up, the sleeping giant woken up, and nope, now Epic is pulling this crap. And I the worst part about it is I kind of know a couple people at Epic. At some point I just want to just knock on their door and be like, why are you doing this? I had you back. I was rooting for you. I wanted you to be the good boys. I wanted to have an option to buy where to buy my games. I wanted you to be the pro consumer that woke up Steam. Because here's the thing, I'm always going to root for Steam, and I always want Steam to win, because I own 1,000 games on Steam, and I don't want those games going away. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Am I
No,
wrong?
I 100% agree. Whenever the Epic Store launched and they were like, hey, we have some exclusive games, it really, to me, it felt like a ploy of, we just want to get the people who don't have the Steam launcher because they don't like Fortnite to download it and just look at our storefront, and get the people who only have it because they play Fortnite to look at the store and play something other than Fortnite for a hot second. And I was on board, right? Like, I went over there, I bought the Hades early access thing, and that game is fun and great. But it looks like that going forward, their plan might be to just buy games to be exclusive to the Epic Store, and that I'm a little less on board with.
Right. And I also just prefer Steam because it's a much well-rounded social area. Yeah, it's I still talk to people on Steam every couple of days.
It's had 100 years to build itself up to be the platform that it is, and the Epic Store just launched, and obviously they have blueprints to follow, but it was probably a pretty last minute thing of let's make a store and buy a bunch of games to put on it or whatever. And they're kind of feels like they're flying by the seat of their pants at this point. Whenever somebody's like, hey, why don't you have that feature? They're like, oh, okay, we'll work on that one next.
Yeah, we'll work on that. Yeah, let's hire.
Why don't you have any games? Okay, we'll buy some games for it.
Hey, MTG Arena, why don't you have a friends list? Maybe it'll work. Guys. Maybe they'll build one.
They don't listen to us. They don't. All right, probably neither does Epic.
We complained about video games for a while. Do we have another weird question?
Yeah, I got a question. This is from somebody on your Twitter I couldn't tell if it was 100G or 100G, but if your brain had a tongue, what would the inside of your skull taste like?
Ooh. I imagine. Ooh. Okay. All right. This is gross. I saw a picture earlier.
Is gross, but
no. My answer is.
Wait, hang on.
Listen. No. Listen to me.
I'm trying to taste what the inside of my brain must taste like. I'm trying to get an idea.
A little gross. I was looking at pictures on the internet earlier, and there was a picture of somebody post-surgery, post-brain surgery, and the gauze stuff that was on their head was kind of iodine colored, not blood colored. And so it just made me think that maybe the inside of my skull tastes like iodine, because it's that color.
What does iodine taste like?
I don't know. Whatever the inside of your skull tastes like. I don't. Okay. You definitely are not supposed to eat iodine. Nobody eat iodine. There's no way it tastes good. It's probably not even
It's
worth
also
it.
poison. Probably.
I think it's poison.
But don't you take iodine tablets to like get unradiated?
I don't know, man.
Unradiated,
Either way, it's medication. Don't take medication without a doctor.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
advocating that you guys should go eat iodine. That's not my point. I'm just curious what it tastes like.
Okay, so
Okay, fine. Orange Kool-Aid.
Let's go.
I fucking changed my mind. Orange Kool-Aid.
okay, so your skull is definitely going to taste like bone, and if you've ever had raw bone in your mouth, you know what that tastes like.
But hang
Hold
on.
on.
What?
Hold on.
We've all had raw bone in our mouth, right?
Not human bone.
Well,
Bone
I'm pretty
tastes
sure.
different.
I don't
Animal
know.
bone
Does
tastes
it?
different. Yeah.
Does it? Because bird bone tastes different, but I'm pretty sure we taste like raw pork bone. Pretty sure.
Okay,
Like,
but I'm
how
saying is
sure?
like beef bone tastes different, right? Than chicken bone.
Maybe.
And
Yeah, that's
Why are you guys
true.
eating so many bones? What the hell?
You've never had like marrow stew or anything like
Oh,
that?
it's so good.
It's really good, but those are from a very specific part of the animal.
Right.
Different bones
Right.
taste different, even in the same animal.
Okay.
So your skull, it's been marinating in all your brain juices.
Right.
How many
It's,
skulls have you
it's-
I'll
guys
bet it's a much more intellectual flavor.
and cerebral fluid, I think, is going to taste very much like lymph, and I've tasted lymph before. So lymph,
Tasted what now?
Is
lymph.
it made up of the same thing?
It's going to be made up of that same lymphy, clear stuff that, you're mostly water. It's going to be a lot of water, and it's going to have lymph in it. It's going to have blood in it, too.
You keep saying this word, and
Lymph?
it's another Ring of MacGuff situation.
Lymph. You don't know what lymph
is
is?
that? No,
you
what
have
is
you have a lymphatic system in your body. And so you have a secondary circulatory system called the lymphatic system, okay?
Okay, I
And
think
so-
I remember that from biology.
Right, so you're
class.
and the reason I know all of this is because I have a condition called lymphedema. I have lymph.
Are you a
right.
lymphomaniac?
And so lymph. Have you ever had a necrotic wound or a bad wound that bled a clear liquid?
You never
ever-
got hit by a
Have you ever
necromancer?
bled a clear liquid or a kind of mostly clear liquid?
No, I've
Okay.
never had that happen.
Well, that is called lymph, and you will with some injuries, especially as you get older. There, and so
like a threat. You will.
yeah, you will. You're gonna bleed clear, you son of a bitch. When I get my hands on you. Okay, so what happens is the lymph will be brought to. The white blood cells and the lymph that can be brought to you by the red blood cell system, but there's a super highway known as the lymphatic system that will get that lymph and those white blood cells and all that other stuff there. And it's also supposed to help clean it up out of the blood system to keep it from having to go through that now dead bacteria and that now dead white blood cell shouldn't have to go through your heart because that's dangerous. Okay, so let's have a new system, a lymphatic system, where we suck all that stuff up and immediately get rid of it without it ever having to spend any more time in the bloodstream. And so that's the lymphatic system. So cerebral fluid is going to be made mostly up of the same stuff that your lymph is made out of, that clear liquid that you might bleed sometimes. And I've had that clear liquid in my mouth before. I think it's going to taste not too different from saliva, just as the flavoring of whatever cerebral fluid is. I don't know what the flavoring of. I don't know what cerebral fluid. I don't know what the special thing in cerebral fluid is, but I imagine it's going to taste different per person because people's blood tastes different per person. And do not ask me how I know that. Thank you.
I know you specifically told me not to ask you, but I'm gonna because
No. I hate people.
Fair enough.
I hate people.
If you're not gonna tell me, you're not gonna tell me.
Like, I mean, is that part of what's responsible for carrying like electrical impulses down your brain? Because if so, then spicy?
Oh, spicy. Tastes like a 9-volt battery, baby.
Yeah, maybe it's like licking a battery.
I'm really mad about a TikTok meme. You know the one where the mint is too spicy? Where the mint is too spicy?
Yes, yeah.
Minty is the opposite of spicy. Minty
No,
is
it's
the opposite.
It's cold spicy. No.
No,
it's cold spicy.
because listen, when you eat spicy food and you breathe it out, it's hot. It tastes hot. And mint tastes cool. It's the opposite of spicy.
Yeah, cold spicy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cold spicy.
No, it's the opposite of spicy. We don't ever call spicy hot spicy. That's
Yeah, we
just
do.
spicy.
You've never had hot and spicy wings?
Shut
Yeah.
up. Okay. Shut up. Shut up.
I think you got him.
Got him.
You proved him wrong on this TikTok meme. Yeah, we were trying to have a conversation last night, and you were just like looking at TikTok memes. And I guess we were talking too loud because at one point you just like turned it up and then turned the screen around to face us.
Well, I wanted you to see
You
the
will pay
TikTok
attention
meme.
to this
I
meme.
wanted you to see the TikTok meme. It was a very good TikTok meme. I'm so
was
bored
pretty
of
good.
TikTok already.
Yeah, I got really bored with it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, whenever you're just like scrolling through the thing, it's just like the same 4 jokes over and over and over again.
Right. And
That not particularly creatively either.
let me tell you this, though. I do have a collection of people I found on TikTok. Here's what I do like about TikTok. So,
Hold on.
Wait, hang on. Are you,
Is this how you know how many different types of blood that people have?
yes, this is how.
Equalize?
I'm trying to change
Are
the
you
topic.
kidnapping
I do
TikTok?
not want to talk about how I've tasted so many different types of blood.
Okay. It's a TikTok related thing, though.
Thank you.
what
So,
type tastes the best though? Like O positive or?
I don't know.
Okay,
I've only tasted 3 different people's blood, but they all taste very different.
Do you know if they were like different blood type or just like their?
I honestly don't know.
I know you don't want to talk about this, but I'm really interested.
I don't
okay,
know.
we can move on.
Okay, we should move on. Okay,
You have a
so-
collection of TikTok people.
So, what is interesting about TikTok, and I think this is really cool, there are a lot of people on there who would not be successful on YouTube, not be successful elsewhere. And they might happen to have a disability, or they might happen to be not particularly attractive. There's a lot of morbidly obese people on TikTok who do very well, have very big followings there. So you do have to scroll through like 97 e-girls who are all like doing that Rower song and stuff about how warm I am and stuff. Like you have
How
to.
warm are you?
Yeah, I'm apparently me so warm, I guess. I don't know. Something for my bulgy wolgy. I don't know. I don't like that song. I don't want to hear that. And I don't want to watch a 16-year-old girl pounce on my bulgy. It's awful. It's awful.
You gotta stop talking. Please
Yeah,
stop.
just please
This is
don't
ruining the
make me
fun.
look at this, right? This is so bad. But every once in a while, I might hit somebody who has a messed up grill like I do, and that's interesting, all right? Or they might have a disability,
grill, man.
okay? Or they might have, they might be morbidly obese, okay? And I'm like, oh, good for you, man. And then I'll watch their videos, and they're all really good too, right? And so, like, okay, this might get me in trouble, and I don't care because I'm going to celebrate it, and you can get mad at me for celebrating it if you want to, all right? Fuck you if you don't want me to celebrate this. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I know I'm going to get in trouble. I don't care.
I feel like he doesn't care, guys.
Okay? So there's a few people with Down syndrome on the format, and they are incredible creators. They are so funny, and they are so cool, and I know that the deck is stacked against them, and I know they're dealing with their disability, and yet it's even better for me. It's even funnier to me when I know that they're dealing with their disability, they're dealing with their issues, and they turn out to be super funny, and they turn out to be
point
super
is that
sweet,
you're not
super
laughing
kind.
at them for having Down syndrome. You're laughing at them because they are creative in spite of their disability, right?
Right. Especially because most of the people who I might follow who do have Down syndrome, the joke is never, "Hey, I have Down syndrome," ha 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 ha.
Because that's shitty and not
right?
funny.
The joke is, "Hey, Dad, how many likes do I need to get before I can get a new whatever?" You know, and they might be doing the memes, or they might be doing something creative or brand new or something interesting, right? Or maybe sometimes they'll do a joke that doesn't land. I don't care. I'm just like I just enjoy, like, this person has Downs, and they're not afraid to be out in the world, and they're not afraid to tell jokes, and they're not afraid to be a creator, and they're successful.
Because they want to be treated like a human
Right.
being,
And they
right?
are getting treated like a human being because they are being very successful on the platform, and a lot of people are supporting them, and they're getting lots of likes and a lot of positive content and so much hate. Oh my God, it's like the vitriolic hate I've ever, like, oh my God, it's such hate. I can't imagine enduring that kind of hatred that these people have to put up with. And I don't just mean somebody with Down syndrome. I'm talking about somebody who's just not pretty on TikTok. If you're not pretty on TikTok, you're just going to get eviscerated. It's insane. TikTok is such a vile, horrible place. Never read the comments. It's so bad. Makes YouTube comments look sane. But anyway, long story short, yeah, it's cool that TikTok has that. And it was cool that Vine had that.
I guess it's cool that they encourage creators, and
Yeah. I
and
mean, like, I'm
not
all for
cool
it.
that people are shitty.
So there's probably a few people, because a lot of, like, early on when I was on Vine, I just liked everybody who liked my stuff. Like, I just followed everybody who followed me, like the first 100 people or whatever. So it was like 20 people, I don't know. Maybe it was like the first 5, I don't even remember. I've unfollowed most of the problematic accounts I might have accidentally followed at some point. So if I accidentally followed a Nazi, I didn't vet everybody. So, like, you know, the PewDiePie problem, I might have accidentally followed a Nazi. I'm sorry if I did in advance.
That happened to me in my my stalking days.
Right. But most of the people I follow are pretty unique and cool people with, like, different bodies and different faces and different shapes and different issues. And there's one young lady who has Tourette's. And again, the joke is never, I have Tourette's. She does talk about her Tourette's and the struggles it gives her. But often the jokes or the vlogs or whatever it is are just her living her life, right? And like sometimes she will like be like, oh, today I had a really bad tick fit. And like she'll still be going through the tick fit. So like I think one of the things she says is like not right now. Not right now. So she'll say that over and over and over again. And it's just interesting. It's just interesting to see those people get a chance to express themselves.
Sure. I don't know anything about what it's like to have Tourette's. I'm interested in if you want to share, right?
Yeah. The most I think I've never known anybody with verbal Tourette's. Or obviously I know Ethan from H3, and Ethan does have Tourette's. So I learned a lot through Ethan and his struggles to keep his face still, basically. You know.
Okay.
And did you see their gender reveal?
Man.
Did you see their gender reveal?
No, I didn't watch it.
They're
I was really hoping that awkward silence would go on for upwards of 30 to 45 seconds.
They're having a Spider-Man! Yo! Hashtag Spider-Man in chat.
Are they actually having a baby?
Pop-up list. Yeah, they're having a baby. And she's,
nice.
I think she's about 5 or 6 months along. And Ethan still looks way more pregnant than she does. But they did a gender reveal, and they did like the box full of balloons, and they opened up the box full of balloons, and it was all clear. It was all clear balloons. Okay. And they're like, we're not going to put a gender on a child. When he or she is ready, she'll determine what her gender is or his gender is. Like, how dare you? How dare you? And I was like, Ethan, this is why people attack you. All right? Like this, I was like expecting like the super wholesome video, and he's all like, you sons of bitches, how dare you try to gender my unborn child? And I'm like, no. This is why they don't like it when I go on your podcast. Please stop. But also, whatever. Yeah, it was pretty funny. But then, like at some point, he pans his camera up to the ceiling, and there's also a Spider-Man balloon up there, and he's like, "We're having a Spider-Man." And Ela begged him not to include that in the video, and begged him to say, "Please, can we not pretend we're having a Spider-Man?" And now
that'd be great.
And that's all I'm doing now. I'm just pretending it's a Spider-Man. I'm going to buy him like a Spider-Man onesie, and if I see him out in LA, I'm going to bring him a Spider-Man onesie, and it's going to be all Spider-Man stuff. It'd be weird to get
Spider-Man a Spider-Man onesie, though, right?
Well, no, because he's going to need it when he's fighting baby crime.
Yeah, Spider-Man wears a suit. That's not what his skin looks like.
Yeah. If that's what his skin looked like, you wouldn't want to get him that.
Hey, this is my costume. Let me get you a costume of your costume. It's like if you knew a doctor, right? And you're like, hey, let's go to Halloween. Don't wear your scrubs. I'll get you a costume, and you got him a doctor costume.
But the baby Spider-Man isn't going to be born with a Spider-Man suit,
right? Yeah.
Are you sure they don't just come out like that?
Yeah, I'm going to get him his first suit.
I've seen all of the Spider-Man movies.
What would
that doesn't
there
happen
weren't any baby Spider-Man in any of them, were there?
Yeah, there were.
The most recent one,
I think.
Somebody said, Bola to God says he has to wear it when he's fighting Baby Doc Ock. What would Baby Doc Ock's motivation be to be evil, do you think?
I'm going to be honest. I'm not clear on what Doc Ock's motivation to be evil is.
Did you not play through Spider-Man PS4?
No.
Oh my God. What is wrong with you? This is such a good game. And
Fair
neither
enough.
of you are playing Kingdom Hearts 3 either, are you?
No. I am. Don't worry, I got that one.
Okay, that's good, man.
I know it. I know at the beginning of this podcast, the beginning of the year, we all made a solemn vow that we would play the most popular games, the big AAA titles.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jacob, we're splitting them up. All right, we got it. We're full coverage.
Let me
I played RE2. Coverage, playing Kingdom Hearts.
Frontal.
Okay,
so I will play Sekiro. He will play. I don't know. That's the only games that
That's it. Those are the only games.
So no spoilers. No spoilers for Kingdom Hearts 3. Except I do want to say this. Oh my God, is it good? It's everything I wanted it to be. Because you go into this world and you're meeting these characters and you're going through this plot, and I just seen that one movie, and I'm not going to even mention the movies that they're involving because I don't want to spoil that for you, but like, and then you go to this world and you unlock that world, and I'm like, oh my God, and then the combat is so good. And originally when I played it at E3, I was like, man, like the teacup ride or whatever, like the Splash Mountain ride, I was like, oh, don't do this, but no, I love it now. And then like all the keyblades, the way they transform, oh my God, I just can't get enough, and I can't believe I took the time to sit in here and talk to you idiots when I could be playing that game right now. In fact, that's why I'm gonna go. Oh, it's so good.
We're in it early, folks.
So good. I do. It is. It's probably my new medication that's working. That's making this game so good. But I'm just like
prescribe Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, I'm just like, man. it's so hard not to talk about it. Somebody says in chat, yes, it is, dude. It's so difficult because I want to talk about it so bad. I just want to sing the songs from the game or whatever. And when I got to that one point and they're in the boat, I started crying, and I just seen that movie on an airplane, and I'm like crying, and I'm like, oh my God. And it's interesting how they retold the story to involve the Kingdom Hearts characters, and the plot doesn't make no sense at all. I don't got no idea what's going on, man. It's like there's 13 hearts and 12 lights, 9 darks, and 16 boys, and there's replica. I don't know, man.
How many rappers are there?
Yeah, how many Keyblades are in this game? I want to get all of them.
All the Keyblades.
Yeah,
how many Keyblades are there? Though?
At the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, we do see an entire field of different Keyblades, so maybe an infinite number of Keyblades. It just matters how many worlds that Sora and Organization 13 can discover.
What do you think happened to Organizations 1 through 12?
Well, they're just not focused on this.
There's 13 people in it, and to be specific, this is the third Organization 13. I think it's at least the second. So
they're Organization 13-3?
Yes, this is from the company that named a video game Kingdom Hearts 255 by 2. Okay.
Is it what it called, like Dream Drop Distance?
Yeah, Dream Drop Distance.
That doesn't even make sense.
At least that's fun to say. I like saying Dream Drop Distance.
Oh, it's the second. It's a second. So it's actually Organization. Yeah, 358/2. 358 days times over 2. So I don't know I don't even know how to pronounce that one.
Ellis, Organization 1 is basically the government, and then Organization 2 is the government for the government.
Yeah, if you want
Organization 3, make sure that all of the candy bars taste
If you want to see what a real government shutdown looks like, download Kingdom Hearts.
Check out Kingdom Hearts, yeah.
I
mean, is there a government in that game?
Is there a government in that game? I have no idea.
The first one, there's like Traverse Town, but it's not clear to me if there's like a mayor of Traverse Town or...
Oh.
Because there's stores, so they presumably have like an economy and commerce, but I've never seen anybody...
So if it's a town,
something
about a town definitely like implies a small local government. I think like a village, like, okay, so there's like a hamlet, village, like those kinds of things. They don't have like a mayor. You can't be a mayor of a village. You could be like a leader, maybe.
You could be an elder of a village.
You could be an elder. You can't be a mayor of a village. But once you get up to like town and stuff, there's definitely like, oh, we elected a mayor, and he like makes sure that all the dudes pick up the trash and fix the potholes and whatever.
There's also only like 4 people in that town, so maybe they just take turns wearing the mayor hat.
Maybe it's a sash. I think the mayor has a sash.
Oh, he gets a sash. Okay.
Yeah.
I will say this, though, and this is a very, very minor spoiler for Kingdom Hearts 3.
The most minor.
It's so minor. But as that game opens, as you put in Kingdom Hearts 3, they have a minor story they have to finish telling. So, up on the screen, it flashes up Kingdom Hearts 2.9 for a second. And I rolled like a 14-year-old girl, dude. I saw what my brain looked like. I was like, oh my God, you're killing me. You're killing me, Kingdom Hearts. No, to Kingdom Hearts 2.9. Why don't you kiss my ass? I want to play Kingdom Hearts 3. What is going on? And I didn't realize why they were doing it. I didn't understand why they were doing it. But now I do, but I didn't at the time. So you sons of bitches. All right. We should maybe start wrapping this up. Do we have another weird question or anything? You got something for me?
I got a bunch of weird questions.
Give us one more crazy one.
Okay. Oh, a crazy one.
Give me some weird.
Certified insane person.
Oh wait, you got something, Boogie?
No. Which celebrity would you eat was still my favorite one.
Okay. Well, this is kind of related to that.
Oh,
you know, we talk a lot about like eating stuff.
Yeah.
Eating stuff.
Kevin Bacon, by the way.
Nice.
If you had to kill and eat a D&D monster, what would you kill and eat? How would you kill and eat it? That was from Yuki Uzumaki.
Okay, so I have so many qualifying questions. The first of which is, if I don't like it, do I have to finish it?
Yeah, you gotta eat the whole thing. The whole plate.
You gotta eat the whole plate.
Because my original...
Kill and make a dish out of the thing.
My original thought was, I would kill a Tarrasque so I could eat forever, pretty much.
You think a Tarrasque tastes good, though? I bet a Tarrasque tastes real bad.
Right, because they're old, right? You want something...
Well, it's also that like Tarrasques are specifically designed to just kill you always. So even in death, I feel like it would find a way to kill you with its corpse.
Also, part of the question was, how would you kill it? How are you going to go about killing that Tarrasque? Boogie?
Oh, they're easy to kill, dude.
They're easy to kill?
Yeah, just got to be level 20 and like, be a wizard and just disintegrate its face. It's not a big deal.
They're spell immune.
Yeah, they're spell immune.
Not with the right magic items, which I will create.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, all right. So Boogie is gonna be a wizard and kill a Tarrasque, and then
No, because if I have to eat the whole thing, I don't want to now.
Okay. I mean, over the course of your whole life, you got your whole life.
I'm willing to gamble that gelatinous cubes are delicious.
I was gonna say that, man.
Like Jell-O.
I'm gonna eat like a Grey Ooze.
Yeah, they probably taste like Jell-O. Yeah. I want to eat one of the mushroom people.
That'd be good. Or like a green salad, because it's basically a salad.
Oh, yeah, it's a salad. Now, the mushroom person, I'm going to make a good stew.
If you're not hungry, you can just have a gnome for a snack.
The fact that they're called people made me a little uncomfortable that I said it, but mushroom person.
Mushroom person?
Look, man, you want to eat a people. I'm not here to argue with you. I've licked some people, and I've tasted blood.
Well, the guys are just
multiple bloods.
Like killing a lich and eating its bones. I don't know. I don't want those dry bones.
That's extremely cursed.
What
animal? You will be extremely cursed by a lich bone.
What do you want to eat the most in the mushroom kingdom?
I think just the 1-up mushroom.
Oh God, what are their chocolate coins? And that's why
what if those are
they're all chocolate coins?
Oh God. I want that so bad.
They might be chocolate coins.
Actually, I bought this little cube
Can I eat a toad?
shaped like a question mark block, and it was filled with edible coins from like Target or whatever. Don't buy it because they're gross. And they were just like this weird chalky sours, and they were bad. Oh. Why? I wanted them to taste good.
I've had one of those. I know what you're talking about. I like that kind of candy, but
I do not.
I like bad candy, so that's a whole different conversation.
Can
I eat a toad? Answer me, please. Can I eat a toad?
I don't care. I'm not the boss of toads. You eat whatever the fuck you want to eat.
The dude has a family.
Why is it fucked up to eat a toad, but not to eat a mushroom person from D&D? They got families.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, my guy.
Then that changes everything. Then that changes everything. I thought they were all bachelors.
They're all bachelors.
Yeah, it's okay to kill a bachelor.
Right.
That's the rule.
Turn them into bachelor chow.
Yeah, murder all bachelors.
So, can I eat a Yoshi egg, but not one that's about to hatch?
Yeah, I would assume so, right?
That's cool, right?
What are the hatches inside you?
Well, I mean, personally, I would cook it.
Okay. Well, yeah, you cook it first, right? You don't eat the egg whole. Boogie, hold on, wait a second.
I'm not trying to bulk up.
How are you eating eggs? Are you just popping them in your mouth whole?
He's reverse Birdo.
How else do you eat them?
What? Okay, what are the eggs that Birdo shoots? Are they Yoshi eggs? Are they Birdo eggs?
Oh, they're Birdo eggs.
I've only ever seen one Birdo.
Be careful about what you say about Birdo, by the way, because he's the only officially trans character in all of Super Mario World.
Okay.
So be careful, man. You be nice. I don't want to beat your ass. Boy.
I feel like Birdo. Okay. I feel like we would have been fine until you put this weird restriction on everything that we have to say now.
No, I want a bumper sticker, actually, that says, don't talk shit about Birdo or I'll beat your ass.
Yeah, I want that too.
Okay.
Don't talk shit about Birdo.
I'm not talking shit about Birdo. I just want to know what the eggs are that Birdo shoots.
That's her business.
Oh, you did it.
I was going to say his or her business.
Now you're going to beat your own ass.
But now I have to beat my own ass.
That's their business.
That's true. That's true.
And next week, while Boogie beats his own ass.
Join us next week. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it, guys. That was a fun stream. This is way better than watching the Superb Owl.
Oh, yeah, the Superb Owl.
Yeah, you're not allowed to say the other one thing. You can say the big game.
You can talk about the big game.
Yeah,
you can talk about superhero bowls.
Yep, you can say Superb Owl. I saw a really great owl today. Saw a really great owl in Adam the Woo's video. Go watch him on YouTube. Check him out, Adam Lou. There's videos we've done together. All right, guys. Hey, I should remind you, we do have a Patreon, and we would love your support because these boys are trying to turn this into a paying gig. So if you can go to patreon.com/BigStackPodcast and support us there, it would be great. You can follow us on YouTube, and watching those YouTube videos is another great way to make sure that we make a couple of bucks for each episode we are doing. If you're listening to us on iTunes or Spotify, be sure to rate us and let iTunes, Spotify, wherever else you're listening to us know that you enjoy the show, and we really appreciate you guys listening. And you can always follow the boys at twitch.tv/big_breakfast, and I'd love it if you guys did, because these boys are working hard to make their dreams come true.
We would love it. Make our dreams come true.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap up the podcast.
Taco Bell at 4 a.m, somebody was like, hey, welcome to Taco Bell. How can I make your taco dreams come true tonight? And that's my favorite fast food experience I've had in my life.
I do like Taco Bell. I can't really eat their food before surgery, and after surgery, it makes me want to die. But the people there are nice.
They are. Hey, you can also follow Big Breakfast on Twitter at BigBFast.
Have we? Oh yeah, that's right. Have we tweeted anything from the the Big Stack podcast account?
No.
Follow us on Twitter at the Big Stack to see our first tweet 3 years from now. Oh god.
No, one day there's a lot of Twitters going around. One day we'll get some jokes on them.
Yeah. We may be bad at this, but at least we're having fun. Guys, as always,
I'm great at this.
You are. I love you.
Thanks for carrying us, Jake.
Guys,
I love you too.
As always, thanks for watching. We love you very much. And we'll speak with you again soon.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Goodbye.